Welcome back, race fans and haters, to the Dirt X podcast in 2026. We're officially back. I'm Jacob Dove of Phenom Motorsports, along with Jacob Perry of Cushion Banging. And on today's episode, we're going to be recapping some recent news and racing events, also previewing the Chili Bowl and the Wild West Shootout. Looking forward to get into it. I know it's been kind of weird going through the holidays. We had some racing to watch with the Tulsa Shootout, but just anticipation on some new racing coming up. Really excited for it. We are currently just presented by Dirt X Store, which is our new merch website. So make sure to go check that out. We'll have the link pop up. We got some brand new merchandise on there. I know Cushion Banging's been really hard with the designs and putting it out there. So we even dropped one today on X. If you go over to our Dirt X podcast webpage, we got some funny stuff for indoor season. So make sure to check that out. So Cushion Banging, how you been, man? I feel like haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, man, I missed your face. A lot has changed. Your mustache still, man, you know, it's there. Your hoodie strings are straight this time, so I do appreciate that. Yeah, man, we haven't been laying low. We've been working. I know a lot of people think we just took the holidays off, but there's a lot behind the scenes. I'm sure people watching this will see the little plastic surgery we got going on. We got all sorts of new shit and see both of our faces now. We got a little bit of logos, a little bit of upperclassmanship here. We're gonna try it out and we're gonna see what happens. So I'm stoked. Let's do what we do.
Yeah, no, we want to thank Dirt Diecast Deals for their partnership, giving us a chance to be the sponsor of the show. Moving forward, we'll be looking for a new partner. If you want to support us a little bit or a lot, we're open to all opportunities for marketing. We're a growing podcast and a brand, so we really want to shoot this thing up, get it out there. One of our New Year's resolutions, I know both of us, is to not only reach our following and subscription goals, but also see our merchandise out there at the racetrack. Maybe we're at a dirt track and we see somebody wearing some Dirt X merch, so that'd be pretty cool. But just growing this as a whole. So if you're interested into partnering us, just hit us up. I'm at jdub_phenom on X, or at Cushion Banging, or just message the Dirt X podcast on X, and we'll be happy to talk with you and have some affordable options. So definitely looking forward to that. First and foremost, knock out the Tulsa Shootout. I think it was cool to see Dason Persley get a driller finally. 15 years of trying, finally gets it done. Rocking those cool NOS Energy colors. Jonathan Beeson, hashtag Beeson season. That was pretty cool to watch them. And then we had some other controversial stuff that we get into. But what are your thoughts on what you saw throughout the Tulsa really long week?
Yeah, it was. I love the shootout. Obviously, I'm not a push and flip guy, right? I give him a lot of shit, but Tulsa is something that entertains me and something I look forward to every year. Whether it's the shootout, the Chili Bowl, what it is, it's very cool. You see all walks of life try it out. Overall, I felt like the whole week the track was kind of touch and go. I would say the track overall, if you put it all together, was great. I think I felt like they could race all the way around it. You know, the bangers up top and then the huggers down low, and I felt like they both could keep up with each other fairly well. I'm a little bit confused with the classes. I think the whole world is, and I kind of voiced that a little bit. I saw CV in one of the classes. I mean, he's the kingpin of Chili Bowl now, so I don't know why or how or what. I have some reservations about that, but take a little bit. A lot of people didn't agree with me, but it was fun, and I do enjoy it. I love seeing the new up and comers in the lower classes. You had, I think, both Larson kids were there. Braxton Flatt is obviously burning the world down. He's a Millbridge kid, I think. So it's a lot of fun, and I love it.
Yeah, definitely. And record amount of cars entered, over 2,000, which was insane. I was telling you that one of the hardest years to just make one of your features, right? One of the guys like Frank Flood, who's a goat in micros, makes all four of his A mains, which is insane, and ends up getting one of the golden drillers handed to him. To unfortunately to Jet Yantis, a young kid who's up and comer, great talent, but this is a big topic right now. Had an illegal engine after he won the class that he was running, and well, never good to win on a DQ. But Frank Flood said that he'll take it, add to his big trophy list of golden drillers. But definitely feel for the kid. I know his dad was out there on social media, so make sure to check that out for further explanation. But I'm just trying to explain, what happened with the engine and why it was DQ'd.
Yeah, I'm not an expert in that field. He had some extra head work done. I think the heads were bored out a little bit more, and they measure them. There's some controversy not only with that, but with the tire doping rules and the new rope a dope or bullshit, whatever it is. Point blank is he didn't break one rule; he broke three. So it wasn't just and usually in this type of shit, you can sit here and say that. that didn't win him the race. I would argue it did. Frank was right there. He was, I wouldn't say a straightaway behind, but the dude was out motoring Frank. So I would argue it did win him the race. And it's not his fault. He didn't build the motor. He probably didn't know shit about it. He's a hired ride. He's a helmet carrier that hopped in, drove his ass off. He did exactly what he was supposed to do. It's out of his control. So it sucks. If anything, the car owner should be frowned on, not him. So my take on it.
And we've had some rumblings about some other people getting caught. And so far, from the Blue Ridge Labs, as far as the tire tests go, it was announced that Cale Drake, and it's unfortunate because I do like Cale and I've talked to him many times, but he was disqualified for some tire samples that came back not legal, running for Dave Mack Motorsports, which is Cannon McIntosh's dad. I don't think this is the first time they've been busted for it. I'm pretty sure McIntosh's younger brother a couple years ago got busted for it. I don't think it's all on the drivers. I mean, Kale is a very hands-on kid with the cars, but I don't think he's going out there and doping. I don't know, but I think it comes down to these guys who are actually building these cars and doing the tire work that are trying to get by on something and ends up coming out negative. So yeah, that was another big story this past week.
Are we still sticking with the simple green excuse? Is that going to be registered for this year? Has he made a statement? Have you seen anything?
Nope,
Okay.
nope.
You can't look guilty if you don't talk, I guess, huh? Or something, so whatever the saying is. But I don't know. He's the only one, right? There was nobody else.
So
Everybody else
far,
passed clean. Yeah, there's
so
still more to
far.
come back. Good point. Great point. There's still more to come back, but I don't know. You can't keep blaming the testing and everything else when it's only one.
Yep. And moving on, we got Chili Bowl coming up next week, along with the Wild West Shootout. But touching on the Chili Bowl subject, we got some of our Fender boys participating. Ricky Thornton Jr. again. He'll drive anything with four wheels, and he's going to be running for Hayden Reinbold's dad, Andy Reinbold, for the Reinbold Underwood Motorsports team again. And look for RTJ to be a gasser. He's going to go out there and put on a show. Still looking to make a feature for his first time. And then along with Drake Troutman, who's a complete rookie, said, "Hey, I'm going to put this deal together and just go try and see what I can do." I talked to him at Volusia during the UMP Modified Rudiman Memorial, and he said that he tested, and he said he wasn't too far off the pace. He asked the guys, like, "Hey, do I suck at this? Like, you guys just be brutally honest, because I have no prior experience in this." But he's another guy that just drives anything with four wheels.
Yeah, this isn't a hobby for Ricky. He was in the shootout in three classes, I think, and he's given this thing all the attention when he has time to do so. So it's not just hopping a ride, let's see how we do. No, he's trying his ass off. And who did he drive for last year? Was it the Indy
He
parts
was
or?
no, that was for Tulsa. He ran for Bernie in the Indy race car, so he was still with Reinbold.
Yeah, so they had like a four-car team, right? And it was a whole big thing. And he got out of the car and it was pissed after his LCQ or whatever it might be. It's not a hey, I'm going out here to have fun. No, he's trying and he's going to make it work. And if there's anybody from our world that has the talent and everything right now, it's definitely Ricky. As far as Troutman goes, I'm stoked to see it. I think he's going to feel out of his element, and he's a bigger guy. The weight is a disadvantage in these midgets, and that's. I think Kyle Busch vocalized that 2 years ago. He said he'd never do it, and all of a sudden that same year he hops in the Chili Bowl. And his main reason is he's a taller guy, and he had a hard time fitting, and then weight is huge. That's why you see most of the midget guys, like if you want to look at the USAC Hall of Fame or whatever it might be, they're all smaller guys. Stevie, Yaley, they're all small guys, and that is a big thing in these midgets, and it's hard to set up against, and it's a complete disadvantage. I'm looking forward to it, but I think you're forgetting one.
Go ahead.
King McCready, Chili Bowl winner. Guys, when you look down the list, and I feel like a broken record, I say this every time, Tim McCready won a fucking Chili Bowl. Like, this isn't just some run of the mill race that he got lucky on. No, he beat the best there was at that time. And he's a fender guy. And granted, he doesn't run the best ever since. He had a good year, maybe a fluke, whatever you want to call it. But he is a Chili Bowl champion. And I don't want anybody ever to forget that.
Well, of course, yeah. I mean, no discredit to T Mac, but as of right now, and if you look over the almost 400 entries, T Mac's not on the list for driving for the Chili Bowl right now. So
Oh, now I look like a fucking idiot. I don't need any help in that aspect. That's a letdown, man. How can you be past champion and not go? That's crazy. I hope he figures something out.
yeah, and there's still some latecomers in. I know today Jesse Love, the NASCAR driver who just won the Xfinity Series, now the O'Reilly Auto Parts, is going to be running again. I believe for Chadbo Industries and some other latecomers. I know Christopher Bell just changed his prelim night, so there's a bunch of movers and shakers going on already. So stay tuned for that. But We don't want to spoil too much of the Chili Bowl content because I'm sure we're going to be talking about it more coming up in one of our other episodes with maybe some guests. Moving on to some Fender car stuff. It's not so much silly season stuff. More guys just kind of picking where they're going to be next year as far as series goes. Word of Outlaws, Lucas, and Hunt the Front. But some big two, some Rookie of the Year contenders was Logan Zarin and Eli Johnson. Logan Zarin, a PA guy who I thought for sure was going to go Lucas, decided last minute he's going to go over to the Outlaws. What are your thoughts about that? So yeah, I was kind of surprised that Logan decided to not go with Lucas. I know a lot of those tracks are in PA, and he likes running Port Royal and stuff. So I was kind of surprised that he decided to go over to the World of Outlaws. What are your thoughts about Zarin deciding to go over to the Outlaws and maybe try to have a better chance at Rookie of the Year?
Yeah, I think more news will come out as to why here soon. I'm not mad at it. The kid's a hot shoe. He can do it. He runs well in PA. He runs well, every time they go to that area. He's definitely one, like if you're on your dirt draft and you pick a local guy that's cheap to average it out, he's definitely the one I pick every time. I'm stoked to see it. And I don't know much about the other cat. I think that's more your area than mine. You might have more information than me, so I'll let you take the reins on that.
Yeah, Eli Johnson from Clewiston, Florida, Hendry County Motorsports Park regular. Had a lot of success locally. Kind of branched out this past year in 2025, running the Hell Tour with the Smiths and all that. I know he was at Eldora when I was there for the Dream. Just kind of getting his feet wet nationally. Wasn't very successful, but he did made some strides here and there. I think this is just the time where he's got the funding and got the crew personnel to go out there on a national tour. I know one of my buddies, Steven, he's a crew guy for them, and they bought some cars when I was at Sonoya. So seems like they're making the big jump. It's going to be really hard. They're going to be beating on some panels, but good for them. It's always good to see some more guys go out there on the national tour instead of just running regionally. So looking forward to seeing how he does. It's definitely going to be tough, but it's good for the sport, especially with the Word of Outlaws who are still searching for a title sponsor.
Yeah, so that's also an interesting fact too, and I think last year, the year before, it came at the last minute too. So, and it's not just World Outlaws; it kind of trickled down everywhere. Hunt the Front lost them, our boy Dirt Tracker lost them, and they're just getting pulling back from racing altogether. And it is what it is. It's a business decision. Nobody likes to see it, I don't think, but hopefully somebody steps up and takes the reins.
Yeah, touching on that, High Limit did change all their profiles back without Kubota. The leadership had changed with the company moving forward, said they were kind of scaling back on the sponsorship. We're kind of seeing this across the board, whether it's a series or a driver. I know it was recently with Jonathan Davenport. We got a little insight on there about that, and it was officially this past week where Davenport announced that Ace Duran Rigging and Hauling was taken over as title sponsor. Nutrient Solution is still going to stick around, but in smaller roles. Some of these companies are taking a hit financially, and they just, I'm glad they're still sticking around, but it's definitely going to be weird seeing, guy like Davenport not in blue and orange and white or black and orange.
Yeah, so it's definitely going to be. He's going to have to reinvent himself and his brand a little bit here, and it's going to be interesting to see. I think you're going to see a new and improved Davenport, a little bit of more edge and a little bit more, something to prove to show Nutrient that hey, maybe you shouldn't have pulled the reins back a little bit. But listen, every sponsor has a shelf life, right? And as long as I've been watching racing, very few sponsors stick on any touring series or any cars for long, long periods of time. If you get 2 to 3 years out of any sort of sponsorship, you've done your job in my eyes. So it's crazy to see, like you talked about the shootout, all the cars we're getting a lot more cars, right? But yet sponsors are pulling out. So there's something brewing here. Car counts go up. The IMCA Super Nationals broke a record too. So it's not just open wheel stuff, it's everywhere. And we're getting more eyes on the sport. So I think you're going to see a lot of shakeup here. And I'm curious to see what happens.
Yeah, that's kind of a good point because when you think about it, we see a lot of the same, companies that are part of the same discipline of what they're trying to sell, right? We see NOS energy drink everywhere because it's a beverage brand. It's easy to market, especially combining NOS with the whole racing aspects. It's easy to market to the where if you have, Kubota or we've seen Case Construction. I mean, other than the relation to the dirt, it's really hard for the common person unless you have a farm or you're a construction worker. It's hard to go out there and buy that product. So it's easier to see a lot of these trucking companies who are doing really well financially. I mean, we see Jeff Hoker with Hoker Trucking, Massilley Valley Transportation. Now we see Ace Duran jumping on board with Davenport. So a lot of these, trucking companies think that racing is marketable. So that's why we're going to see a lot more of those type of companies. So should be interested to see what happens with some of these title sponsors with these series and also these drivers.
Yeah, so seeing the brands, and you bring up a good point, seeing the brands kind of switch gears and saying, "Hey, is that my market base or not?" And that comes from the higher up in a business standpoint. And Kubota really marketed toward dirt racers and fans? I don't know. I think that money could be used elsewhere to help their brand, and I don't disagree with the decision. I hate to see them go. They're a cool ass sponsor, but I mean, I don't know what brands are marketed toward us. Beer, cigarettes.
Yeah, well, you mentioned beer, and then Real American Beer, splits with the World of Outlaws, and it's just it's tough because that's a certain market. I mean, I feel like majority of people over 21 plus, you go to a dirt track, a lot of people are drinking beer, but it's hard to market it towards the younger fans that are not of age or going to racetracks that allow you to give samples or beer out. I mean, when I went to Needmore
Mhm.
Speedway for the Outlaws, they were a dry track, so they didn't even sell beer at the concession stand, let alone give out Real American Beer. So I never
That
even
should be
got to try
illegal,
it
for
myself.
one. That should be
Yeah,
illegal.
yeah, our opinions, and whoever's watching that's under 21, it's just a subject. Okay, we're not promoting alcohol, but it is illegal that they had to do that. But it really just comes down to the return on investment, and that's with anything. Like we were mentioning earlier, we want somebody to partner us. We want something, you know, not only to get us going, but for that business or company that wants to
Mhm.
invest in us, right? Get your eyeballs on their brand and shed light to whatever they are selling.
Yeah, it has to work for both sides, right? And that's it's tough with a lot of different markets, not only racing but with us too. Is the viewers watching, would they be interested in so and so's product that decided to partner with us? And it's tough for a business to stand back and say, yeah, I think this would help me beneficial, help benefit my company. So it's tough all the way around it, and it has to work for both parties. Like you said, the ROIs, we both put in a ton of work to this, and we're going to keep doing it. This isn't a goodbye, but this is a hey, we want to go where we want to go and we need help. So if you own a company or know somebody that does, that thinks this could work, we'd love to hear them.
Definitely. And going back to the Word of Outlaw stuff and drivers committing and recommitting, one of the recent news was Cody Overton finally coming out after, there was rumblings about where he was going to be next year. I know his car owner Dave was kind of stepping back and going into more of retirement. So Cody was rumored to initially go to the Hicks 79 ride. Obviously, that didn't pan out, and Hedgecock took over for this year. So Cody steps up and he's going to be the car owner. He takes over the team next year, returning to the World of Outlaws full time with some support from Bruce Kane and Alan Murray. It's definitely interesting. It's never easy when you're a car owner and driver, but I think with Bruce and Alan stepping up to back him financially, it's going to be pretty cool. Switching from the Longhorns, he's currently got his cars from 2025 for sale out there. So if you're a driver and you're looking for Longhorns, hit up Cody. He's going to be switching over to the Rockets since Bruce Kane's always stick to them.
It's interesting. So, I mean, are you going to see a different Cody with his own money on the line? I mean, let's face it. I love Cody as much as the next person, but he's reckless. He tore up a lot of stuff. He ruined a lot of race cars, but at the same time, fans love him because of that. So, I think you're either going to see a mature Cody here, and he's going to drive a little bit different. He's going to take care of equipment better, or you're going to see exactly the opposite of what I'm saying is that, hey, this is my shit. I know I can fix it. I know I can afford more. Bombs. I don't know.
Yeah, actually at Sonoya for the Flow Racing Night in America race, he torn up shit, and my buddy Daniel ran back to the pits and got one of his panels, and I was like, "Damn, you potentially got one of Cody's last number two panels out there." So yeah, I mean, it sucks. Cody's a nice guy. He's a good personality. Between him and his brother Brandon, they're good for the sport, and they're, kind of the more blue collar racers. So it should be interesting to see, this combination. Hopefully, it works out. Running the '97 super late model, and then running Bruce Kane's normal 15K car in the crates. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully, it works out for him. You got to be optimistic. So
Absolutely, and I think there's one more little topic here of another person going for a Rookie of the Year that we need to hit on. He deserves every ounce of mention that we give. So I'll let you take the reins.
go ahead.
Freddie Carpenter, old man Freddie, going for Lucas Oil Rookie of the Year this year. Kind of sounded like his last hurrah. It kind of sounded like, hey, I don't know how much longer I can do this. I'm going to chase my dreams and I'm going to go for it. And I respect the absolute fuck out of that. And I hope he does well. The odds are stacked against him. We all have our own thoughts of what's going to happen. I hope he shocks the world. I hope he does the impossible. Like I said, it's improbable, but I'm tuned in to see it, and I think the whole world will eventually pull for him. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, no disrespect to Freddie at all. He's a great guy. He's funny. He's a great personality. Obviously, his son Tyler's a great race car driver. I jokingly told a lot of people, including you, that everybody's been begging for a Carpenter to go out on tour, and well, we end up getting Freddie, 55-year-old Freddie. So no disrespect though. He's a great guy. He's accomplished a lot of stuff with Kryptonite chassis and everything, in West Virginia, putting it on the map. So, I think it's always funny. I go back to Ocala. I was actually, well, it's not really funny in a way, but after Ocala this past Speed Weeks, went to Freddy's Steak Burgers and Fries, fast food joint. Right after the races, and his wife, Freddie's wife, was there. So we were eating Freddie's frozen custard with Freddie's wife. But it wasn't so funny when he had a bad crash one of the nights of Ocala, and I thought his career was over. To be honest, like the way he took that impact, he hit one of the tractor tires, and somebody clipped him, and he was torn up. He took him a long time to get out of the car, and I was like, man, that could be it for Freddie. Even going full time on a national tour is just a surprise. Whether it's Lucas or Outlaws, he decided to go Lucas, and hats off to him. So we wish you the best, Freddie. I know it's kind of hard to take him seriously lately when I saw the news with all his AI stuff that he's got on his social media. So definitely check that out, though.
Yeah, and this is going to be huge if he does pull this off and say he finishes top 10 in points, say he does get rookie of the year. That's huge for Kryptonite Chassis because that is marketed and designed for the budget racer, right? He says, "Hey, you don't need to go buy a $50,000 Longhorn or whatever it might be to compete with these guys." And he's trying to go out there and prove that. So, props to him. We're tuned in to see it. So, let's keep rolling here.
Yeah, definitely. And I know where I'm going to be at cushion banging, but is there anything coming up on your plans for 2026? I know it's definitely really cold where you are in Illinois, and I don't want you to remind you of that because I'm down here in Florida, and it's actually been pretty chilly. I got my hoodie on, and like you mentioned, I got my strings correct this time. I'm learning as a Florida man, but I'm going to be at the Chili Bowl coming up next week. I fly out really early to Tulsa on Sunday morning. Going to be there all week. Check all my social medias along with DirtX. I'm going to be bringing you guys some extra content in person. But anything on your list you're looking forward to 2026 coming up?
Yeah, I got you a present. I didn't tell you this, but I got you something. Hold on. Yeah. Here it is.
Wonderful.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm happy for you. I am jealous, fully to the extent. Not only are you you're going Chili Bowl, which turn are you going to plant your ass in?
Well, I was fortunate to get the credentials, full media pass and pit pass. So I'm going to be going down in the center of the track. It's really small, so I'm going to try to plan accordingly. Try not to rub elbows with any of the other camera media people. So I think I should go over mostly towards the pit entryway because you got all those sandbags right there, and a lot of cars they spin out and they go straight for the wall. And hopefully everybody's okay. I've seen some gnarly wrecks on Flow Racing, but I think it's going to be pretty cool taking pictures and videos going into turn three right there. A lot of stuff happens, a lot of drama. The last second sliders on the bottom, hitting the berm, coming up and right rearing people. So I think I'm going to hang out there.
Yeah, no, I'm happy for you, man. I hope you get some good shit. I hope you rep us well, and I know you will. I guess this is my karma for the dome, so I'll take it. It's fine. We're even, kind of. I mean, I wasn't on the infield for the dome, but we'll take our wins. But going in 26, things I'm looking forward to. I don't have a top list. I'm just excited for everything to get started and kind of see what happens in the year. I guess I'm looking forward to the normal races. I always get around me, you got Lucas at Farmer, you got Summer Nationals at Farmer, you got Falls doing what Falls does and just bouncing around everywhere. I'm going to try and hit up as many as I possibly can. And yeah, man, we're going to live.
Yeah, I'm a little bit sad though that, I mean, you always have an open bed right behind me here in my studio. Got an extra bed if you ever want to come down for speed weeks. Totally up to you, but yeah, I'm sad that you're not going to be able to join me for Florida Georgia Speed Weeks. It's going to be packed, jam packed. I was writing down all the dates yesterday for Lucas, for Outlaws, for Hunt the Front, even the sprint car stuff. I know you're not a push and flip guy, but there's just so much stuff going on from basically now all the way to March, and then we fully get going for the regular season stuff. So yeah, definitely tune in because there's going to be a lot to watch.
Yeah, no, you're definitely blessed with the schedule this season. I think we hinted on that with the last episode. So I'll get my share up here. Be careful what you wish for. There might be a nap in that bed before long. But man, there's plenty of spots up here. You can come Midwest racing for a summer, and I think you'd enjoy it.
Yeah, definitely one of the biggest races I want to put on my calendar is the PDC. It's, we lost East Bay, and I know we talk about that was basically our Fairbury, and now that East Bay is basically wiped away, and really want to get to the PDC. It's a special event. I've never been there, but if you ask me what my favorite track to watch and on flow racing and Dirt Vision, it's definitely Fairbury. So that's definitely one of the ones I want to get to.
Yeah, and I try to avoid it, to be honest with you. No disrespect, but it's highly, highly crowded. It's right in the heart of summer. Everybody stinks. Everybody's drunk, so you're sweating out alcohol. It's the greatest show possibly ever to go to. But when you've been a few years, you're kind of like, okay, this is amateur night. But I will make a promise that if you come up, we will go, and I will give you the full Fairbury treatment. That you're not just a PDC. I'll show you everything. It's wild.
Sounds good. I'll have to take you up on that. But got anything else you want to share? Well, appreciate everyone for tuning in as always. I feel like our biggest goal right now for the new year is hitting 100 subscribers on our YouTube channel. We're getting closer and closer. We're sitting around 88 right now. So once we hit 100, we want to give a shout out to everybody that subscribed so far and keep it going. I know we want to get our Facebook page going a little bit more, so make sure to follow DirtX Podcast over on there. I know it always helps liking and subscribing, and please comment. Keeps us entertained. I know there's a lot of fun stuff to talk about during the off season, but racing season is just around the corner, so we want to hear from you on what you're looking forward to. And yeah, thanks Cushion Bangin for all your hard work on the merchandise. Doesn't go unnoticed. Make sure to head to dirtxstore.com to check all that fun and interesting merchandise out. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Peace. All right.